How to fix weak legs if you are over 55. Imagine this scene. A 67-year-old grandmother is standing at the bottom of the staircase. At the top are her grandchildren, giggling and calling for her to come up and play. She takes the first step, and her legs tremble. She grips the railing tightly, her knees feel weak, and halfway up, she has to turn back. It's not that she doesn't want to climb, her legs just can't carry her anymore. This isn't just a story. It's the reality for millions of seniors worldwide. Studies show that nearly 40% of adults over the age of 65 struggle with some form of mobility limitation. And leg weakness is one of the leading reasons why older adults lose independence. Many people assume this is simply old age catching up, but the shocking truth is that leg weakness after 60 isn't just about getting old. Scientists have identified 5 major reasons behind it. Some of them begin silently in your 30s, decades before you notice the first symptom. The danger of ignoring this problem is huge. Weak legs don't just make it harder to move around, they increase the risk of falls. According to the World Health Organization, falls are the second leading cause of accidental injury deaths worldwide, with adults over 60 at the highest risk. One fall can change a life forever, leading to fractures, hospital stays, and loss of independence. But here's the good news. Many of these problems are not only preventable, but they can also be reversed. Imagine being able to walk with confidence again, climb stairs without fear, and play with your grandchildren freely. In this video, we'll uncover the 5 hidden causes of weak legs, and I'll share real stories and practical solutions that can help you or your loved ones walk strong again. So stick around, because what you'll learn today might just give you back your independence. Nerve damage, peripheral neuropathy. The third major cause of weak legs is nerve damage, medically known as peripheral neuropathy. This condition occurs when the peripheral nerves, which connect the brain and spinal cord to the rest of the body, become damaged. For seniors, this is especially common in people with diabetes, but it can also result from vitamin deficiencies, especially vitamin B12, infections, exposure to toxins, or even side effects of long-term medications, such as chemotherapy drugs. Symptoms can vary but often include tingling, burning sensations, numbness, or sudden weakness. Balance issues are especially common, making walking feel unsafe and increasing the likelihood of falls. In fact, studies show that people with peripheral neuropathy are twice as likely to fall as those without it. Let me share the story of Uncle James. At 62, he often stumbled while walking. At first, he laughed it off as clumsiness, until one day he tripped on his way to the market and fractured his wrist. Alarmed, his family took him for tests, and doctors discovered he had nerve damage caused by poorly controlled diabetes. His nerves were no longer sending proper signals to his legs. His doctor advised him to bring his blood sugar under control and to boost his vitamin B12 intake through foods like salmon, eggs, dairy, and fortified cereals. He also began doing balance exercises and reducing alcohol intake, which can worsen nerve damage. Within months, James noticed significant improvement. He could walk more confidently and felt safer on his feet. The data is clear. According to the American Diabetes Association, up to 50% of diabetics over the age of 60 experience some form of neuropathy. The good news is that lifestyle changes can help. Managing blood sugar, eating a nutrient-rich diet, staying physically active, and avoiding smoking or alcohol can slow down nerve damage and sometimes even improve function. Protecting your nerves is protecting your legs, and protecting your legs is protecting your independence. Spinal problems, herniated discs, and sciatica. Now here's something that might surprise you. Sometimes weak legs don't come from the legs at all. They come from the spine. The spinal cord is like a superhighway of nerves carrying messages between your brain and your body. But when a disc in the spine slips out of place, known as a herniated disc, Or when spinal stenosis narrows the canal that houses the nerves, those nerve signals get blocked or pinched. The result? Shooting pain, numbness, tingling, or weakness in the legs, even if the muscles themselves are perfectly healthy. Mrs. Clara, a 68-year-old grandmother, experienced this firsthand. For months she avoided family outings because sitting too long caused sharp pain that shot from her lower back down to her legs, a classic sign of sciatica. At first, she thought she would need surgery or lifelong medication, but after consulting a physiotherapist, she was introduced to gentle daily stretches, core strengthening exercises, and posture correction techniques. She also reduced the time she spent sitting and started using a cushion for back support. Within weeks, she noticed that not only was the pain less intense, but her legs also felt steadier and stronger. She regained her confidence and started attending her church's community walks again. Experts estimate that spinal problems account for nearly 30% of all leg weakness complaints in older adults. The risk increases with age due to natural wear and tear on the spinal discs and joints. While not every case requires surgery, lifestyle adjustments such as avoiding prolonged sitting, maintaining a healthy weight, practicing regular back strengthening stretches, and seeking physiotherapy can relieve nerve compression and restore function to the legs. So remember, sometimes the problem isn't in your legs at all, it's in your back. Fix the source, and your legs can come back to life. Electrolyte imbalances, magnesium and potassium. And finally, let's talk about something often overlooked: electrolyte imbalances. Minerals like magnesium and potassium may seem small and insignificant, but they are absolutely vital for muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and energy production. When these levels drop too low, your legs may send you urgent warning signals: cramps that wake you up at night, spasms when you try to walk, constant fatigue, or sudden weakness that makes standing feel like a chore. The problem is much more common than you might think. One study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that nearly 50% of older adults have magnesium deficiencies. Why? Medications such as diuretics, which are commonly prescribed for blood pressure or heart conditions, can lower magnesium levels. Add to that poor diet, dehydration, and reduced absorption with age, and you have a perfect storm for deficiency. Potassium is equally critical. Without enough potassium, your muscles can't contract properly, and your heart rhythm can even become irregular. Foods like bananas, leafy greens, beans, avocados, and sweet potatoes are nature's richest sources. Think of your muscles as engines and electrolytes as the spark plugs. No matter how powerful an engine is, without spark plugs it simply sputters and stalls. That's exactly what happens when your electrolytes are out of balance. Your legs feel heavy and powerless. The fix? Surprisingly simple. By eating more fresh fruits and vegetables, snacking on nuts and seeds, drinking enough water, and when necessary, taking doctor-approved supplements, you can restore those spark plugs and bring energy back into your legs. Even a few weeks of dietary change can make the difference between struggling to climb stairs and walking with renewed energy. Muscle loss, sarcopenia. One of the biggest culprits behind leg weakness is sarcopenia, the scientific name for age-related muscle loss. Most people don't realize that this process begins silently in their 30s. Research shows that adults lose about 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade starting in midlife. By the time someone reaches their 60s or 70s, the decline accelerates rapidly. This loss of muscle is more than just numbers. It's the reason why standing from a chair, climbing stairs, or even carrying a bag of groceries becomes exhausting for many seniors. Take the story of Mr. Johnson, a retired teacher. In his younger years, he was full of energy, walking everywhere and rarely sitting still. But at 65, he noticed he could no longer stand up from the couch without pushing himself up with both arms. His legs weren't diseased, they had simply lost strength from years of gradual underuse. His independence was slipping away without him realizing it. Here's the hopeful part. Muscle can be rebuilt at any age. A groundbreaking study by the National Institute on Aging showed that seniors in their 70s and 80s who engaged in resistance training just 2 to 3 times per week increased their muscle strength by up to 150% in only 3 months. The human body, even at an advanced age, remains incredibly adaptable. The solution doesn't need to be complicated. Simple exercises like chair squats, walking, lightweight training, or resistance bands paired with protein-rich foods such as beans, eggs, lean fish, or even a glass of milk can stimulate muscle regrowth. The takeaway? Sarcopenia doesn't have to be a life sentence. With small but consistent effort, seniors can reclaim lost strength, improve balance, and reduce their risk of falls, ensuring they stay active and independent for years to come. Poor circulation, peripheral artery disease, PAD. Another hidden factor behind weak legs is poor circulation, most often caused by peripheral artery disease, or PAD. PAD develops when fatty deposits, called plaque, build up in the arteries and restrict blood flow to the legs. The numbers are alarming. PAD affects about 1 in 5 adults over the age of 65 worldwide, but many go undiagnosed because they mistake the symptoms for normal aging or arthritis. The signs can be subtle at first. Cramping in the calves when walking, leg numbness, cold feet, or cuts and wounds that take much longer to heal than normal. Left untreated, PAD can progress and drastically limit mobility, sometimes leading to serious complications like infections or even amputations. Consider Mary, a 70-year-old grandmother. For years, she believed the pain in her legs during her daily walks was simply arthritis. She would stop, rest, and the pain would ease, but it always returned when she walked again. After tests, doctors discovered she had PAD. Her arteries were narrowing and her legs weren't receiving enough blood. Instead of telling her to rest, her doctor encouraged her to move more. Mary began with short 10-minute walks, gradually increasing the distance as her stamina improved. She also made lifestyle changes, drinking more water, eating heart-healthy foods rich in omega-3s and fiber, and elevating her legs at night to encourage blood flow. Within a few months, her energy improved, her leg pain became less frequent, and she regained confidence in her daily walks. The lesson here is powerful. Weakness in the legs doesn't always mean your muscles are gone. It might mean your blood isn't reaching them. Walking regularly, maintaining hydration, eating foods that support cardiovascular health, and controlling risk factors like high blood pressure and cholesterol can dramatically improve circulation. Your legs don't just need strength. They need fuel, and that fuel comes from healthy blood flow. So here's the truth. Leg weakness after 60 isn't just old age. It's often the result of fixable issues: muscle loss, poor circulation, nerve damage, spinal problems, or missing minerals. And here's the twist. You don't need expensive treatments or surgeries to rebuild your strength. With small, consistent changes, like adding light exercise, drinking more water, eating protein and mineral-rich foods, correcting your posture, and keeping blood sugar under control, you can bring your legs back to life. Picture this: walking up the stairs without hesitation, joining your grandchildren in the park without fear of falling, moving freely and independently with confidence. That life is still possible, and it starts with the choices you make today. If this video has given you hope, please like this video, share it with someone you care about, and don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing health insights. And before you go, leave a comment below and tell me, what's the first step you'll take today to keep your legs strong? Because your journey to strength isn't ending with age, it's just beginning.